Hello, so I thought I'd do another video for you. Um, I just thought I'd discuss today about interviews and also how it can be with bosses as well for understanding you. So, majority of my jobs to date have been office related. I did do tennis coaching for about sort of 2 years. Um, Now, with the bosses I've had, I sort of had a bit of a mix, but I've always found that they haven't really been able to understand me as well as I would have liked, and haven't necessarily given the time to do that, to take the time to get to know me as a person, and also um, in the respect of managing me. One thing I do want to say though is my current boss, he is great, and I don't have to be paid to say that. I can honestly say he is a great boss. He's just sound. He seems to understand me quite well as a person. He's got to know me for me, and that's really appreciated. He values what I can contribute to the team, and he's just a genuine kind of guy, and that's what you want as a boss. And I know I can go and speak to him. He's very easygoing and he's not demanding lots and lots from me. And I really appreciate that. But at the same time, I still have to be there working from the start of the day to the end of the day. So I want to big up my boss, say he's really good, best boss I've had to date. So I'm very thankful for that. Because I think sometimes when you don't have good bosses, which I have experienced before, what happens is they perhaps find it difficult to explain to the rest of the team that, this particular person's got Asperger's syndrome, and how best all the people in the team can adapt for that individual. So therefore you can get people that perhaps are a bit quiet with you, a bit kind of off, which is a real shame. Yeah, and I don't know what obviously the circumstances are of those watching, but if you do have any questions or you want me to kind of help in any way, then do ask. I do think that if you don't feel you're being treated fairly by your manager, then by all means, I don't feel there's anything wrong with approaching them and just saying along the lines of how you work best. And if you don't feel you're being treated well by other staff or whatever, then I feel it's reasonable to tell that manager. But if you don't feel you can solely do that on your own, or you'll find it difficult to tell the manager, in effect, how you would like them to manage you better, then there may be somebody within the organisation of the business, say, who can assist you. I go along with you to a meeting with the boss, to give you that support, and to make you feel more at ease when speaking to them. Another thing that comes to mind is with HR, you can sometimes get them involved. So if you don't feel like your boss is treating you that well, or you don't feel he's listening to you because of how work colleagues are being, then you can always get HR involved, and then they can liaise directly with the manager if you feel more comfortable with not doing that face-to-face, say, yourself. And then I just wanted to talk on interviews as well. So with interviews, I've been quite fortunate with my dad. He was like a team leader, and he was used to managing sort of like a smallish team, medium sort of team, 10 people in a team. And he was used to doing interviews. So he would do like role play with me for interviews. So he would ask me questions, and that was really beneficial because it was kind of the questions that you would come across in an interview. So therefore, I had an idea before going into the interview to know what to say if I was asked that particular question. I was also reassured by my dad that it was okay to take a pause for 2 seconds, say, before giving an answer, and also trying to keep my hands on my legs and not wave them around too much, sort of thing. And I really found for myself that having chewing gum before interviews helped me to be calm and just made me more settled before the interview. And then I think probably majority of the time I would obviously not be able to have the chewing gum in the interview because that would be noticed, sort of thing. But that would just be a little tip for you. But obviously, you might not have somebody who you can go through questions with, but if you can find somebody who can go through interviews just as role play before an interview, then I think that would be really beneficial for you. And one thing I would say is you can be asked so many questions, but one thing that really comes to mind is that when you get asked questions such as, oh, tell me a weakness about yourself. So what you want to do is you want to turn it into a positive at the end. So with myself, for example, I'm not the quickest, but I have an eye for detail. So if I was asked that question and somebody said, so Luke, can you just tell us a weakness about yourself, please? I would respond with something like, I would take a pause and then I would respond with along the lines of, well, with myself, I'm not always that quick in doing a task. However, I have an eye for detail and I like to make sure I get it right. So then I know the job will be done properly and correctly. And the reason I want to give that as an example is because this is one that can sort of stump people, can kind of think a case of, oh, what do I say now, sort of thing. But if you have an idea of that sort of thing before the interview, that will help you because you've got the information there and you can really turn it into a positive. I started by saying along the lines of, oh yes, I'm quite sort of I'm not the quickest, sort of thing. But then by changing it and putting a spin on it towards the end and saying, although I have an attention to detail and I like to do things correctly along those lines, as I said earlier, then I think that's really good because I'm putting a positive spin on it. So that's a tip for you. Yeah, and I hope that helps. But any other questions, if there's any people at sort of adult stage and when obviously lockdown finishes and you're going to feel like you're going to be going for interviews and you have any questions for me, then I'm more than happy to answer them and give any advice. So do ask, but that's just one example of a question. And also another tip is try and get to the interview 5 minutes or a little bit longer before that. So it's not rush. And that will help you to settle a bit and it won't be all go sort of thing. So yeah, I think that's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you for another video soon. Before you go, just a quick thing. Anybody that likes Appletiser, as I do, recently I've been getting a good few packs of these. A pack of 6 for £2.50 from Tesco. I believe the offer might still be going, but it's a great deal because that's less than 50p a can. Another thing is any Star Wars fans out there, you can get Disney Plus for a free week's trial and then just cancel it before the week's up and then you don't have to pay the monthly fee sort of thing, because there is a series on there at the moment called the Mandalorian sort of thing. Mandalorian. So it's like, you know, the Boba Fett character, and it's really, really good. And there's 8 of them, so it's great. But that's the thing, because it's 7-day trial. I believe with those and with other sort of series and films, you can actually download them, so you can get good, well, in effect, good value for money. You get a free trial, but you can get good value for money because you could actually download series films onto your phone, onto, say, your iPad, and it's free. And then you can cancel before the week is up, and then you don't have to pay them sort of monthly subscriptions. So I would definitely recommend The Mandalorian if you're into Star Wars. It's been really good so far. I've been enjoying it. So that's it. I hope my video has helped. Stay positive and hit the like button if you appreciated what you saw, and do subscribe. Take care. God bless. Bye.